Title: Ward 13, Where Nightmares Reside. Chapter 1. Lights off, volume up. It's time for another haunting adventure on Dreamy Nightmares, where fear has a new name. It was a dark night when Sarah received a mysterious phone call. Her heart raced as the voice on the other end whispered, "Ward 13. Mercy Hospital." Mysterious midnight increased the terror. The caller hung up before she could ask any questions, leaving her bewildered and terrified. Sarah had always been curious about Mercy Hospital's Ward 13. It was notorious in her hometown for being haunted. Stories of patients disappearing in the middle of the night and strange noises had circulated for years. Most people avoided the place like the plague, but Sarah was different. She was drawn to the ghosts and had spent years investigating paranormal activities. Now, it seemed like her curiosity had led her straight into the heart of darkness. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, Sarah found herself standing outside the imposing entrance of Mercy Hospital. Moonlight cast eerie shadows on the old, crumbling building. She took a deep breath and pushed open the heavy doors. Inside, the hospital was a maze of dimly lit corridors. The air was cold and stale, and the walls seemed to whisper ancient secrets. Sarah followed a flickering overhead light down a long corridor, her footsteps echoing ominously. Finally, she reached a rusted sign that read, "Ward 13. The door creaked open, revealing a pitch-black room. Sarah hesitated for a moment, then summoned the courage to step inside. As she entered, the door slammed shut behind her with a deafening crash. Panic surged through her veins, but she fumbled for her flashlight and clicked it on. The feeble beam of light revealed a room frozen in time. Dust-covered hospital beds lined the walls, their sheets yellowed with age. Medical equipment lay scattered, like the remnants of a long-forgotten battlefield. Sarah's footsteps echoed as she explored the ward. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, and her breath misted in the air. She shivered, realizing that something was terribly wrong in Ward 13. A soft, mournful wail echoed through the darkness, sending a chill down Sarah's spine. She followed the sound, her flashlight beam revealing a figure standing at the far end of the room. It was a young woman, dressed in a tattered hospital gown, her long, matted hair obscuring her face. "Who are you?" Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. The woman slowly turned to face her, and Sarah gasped in horror. The woman's eyes were empty sockets, and her skin was deathly pale. She raised a bony finger and pointed towards a nearby hospital bed. On it lay a decaying corpse, its eyes wide open in a frozen scream. Sarah stumbled backward, her heart pounding. She needed to leave this place, but the door had vanished, leaving only an endless expanse of darkness in its wake. Panic welled up inside her as she realized she was trapped in Ward 13 with whatever malevolent force resided there. Desperate to escape, Sarah began to search for any clues that might lead her out. She noticed a book lying on a nearby bedside table, covered in a thick layer of dust. As she opened it, she discovered the writings of a former nurse who had worked in Ward 13. The nurse described the hospital's sinister experiments, where patients had been subjected to unspeakable horrors in the name of science. The journal detailed the suffering and torment endured by those trapped within these walls. Sarah's blood ran cold as she realized the truth. The spirits of the tortured patients still lingered in Ward 13. The room seemed to close in on her as the tormented souls closed in. Sarah knew she had to find a way out, but the presence of the ghost in the ward grew stronger with each passing moment. She stumbled upon a hidden passage, a forgotten tunnel that led deeper into the hospital's bowels. As she ventured deeper into the darkness, the walls seemed to pulse according to spirits. Cries and whispers surrounded her, and grotesque apparitions materialized from the shadows. But Sarah pressed on, driven by an unrelenting desire to escape. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she emerged into an abandoned underground chamber. At its center, a flickering candle cast an eerie glow. In the candlelight, Sarah saw a ritual circle inscribed on the floor, its symbols pulsating with otherworldly energy. With trembling hands, she realized that the only way to escape Ward 13 was to complete the ritual and appease the restless spirits. She followed the instructions in the journal, reciting incantations and offering her own blood as a sacrifice. The room trembled, and the spirits screamed in agony. Sarah's vision blurred as she felt herself being pulled into another realm. And then, in an instant, she was free. She stumbled out of Mercy Hospital, gasping for breath, her body covered in wounds and blood. She knew that Ward 13 would forever remain a place where nightmares resided. But Sarah had survived, carrying with her the harrowing tale of her encounter with the restless souls of the past. If you've survived this far, congratulations. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you dare. Until next time, stay haunted. Chapter 2. Coming soon.